Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to have another young Indian with us, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Rahul. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Rahul.
Hello, sir. First of all, thank you for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to be on uh, conversing with you here. So, I'm Rahul and I'm originally from Bangalore and I'm currently staying in Kolkata. So, if I have to tell my story starting from the my undergrad days, I would say I did my schooling in Bangalore. And post that, I actually did my Bachelors in Technology, B.Tech from National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, Surathkal, in Electronics and Communication Engineering. I'm a 2020 batch pass out graduate. Uh, so immediately after I passed out, I joined Samsung Semiconductors and I worked as a hardware engineer there for a course of 3 years. Uh, but even then, and even before that, during my engineering, I always had this growing interest in the field of policy and economics, policy, politics, and economics. So I was just reading it for the sake of as a hobby. I was reading about socioeconomic issues, books, blogs, etc. So yeah, but still, it was just a hobby back then. But like the uh, ideals of inclusivity, equity have always been ideas which have guided me and which have inspired me. So I started volunteering during the COVID time. As I started working at Samsung, I also started volunteering with NGOs which were working with marginalized groups of people in the fields of education, food security, etc. So uh, yeah, so I was working in this. On one hand, I was working on cutting edge technology in my job at Samsung. And on the other hand, while I was working with these, volunteering with these NGOs, as I said, it was the time of COVID. And you may remember that schools were shut during that time and classes shifted to online during the COVID time. But the NGOs where I was working with, the it was the kids whom I was working with in these NGOs. Like many of them didn't even possess a basic smartphone to access the online classes, and they were missing classes. So I could see this stark divide. On one hand, I was working with very cutting edge technology, which was yet to be released after a few years. Whereas on the other hand, I was also working with marginalized groups of people who didn't even have access to a basic smartphone. So that's when it kind of like it started. uh I It moved me, and I started thinking about like how I can better work in the fields of, like, I would say, policy, economics, and social sector. So I started thinking about it, and I realized probably it's time that I did something more than just part-time volunteering with these NGOs. But still, the thing is, like, I was afraid of taking any leap or transition, I would say, because most of the people I had in my circles of friends and family were had very conventional path in life. Like after taking up engineering, they had continued in engineering jobs. So I was particularly a bit hesitant and afraid, I would say, like, of making any such transition. So around this time, I joined a fellowship called Citizens for Public Leadership. It's called CPL. So like this fellowship, like it basically it prepared people, it introduced people to the fields of policy and social sector. So I met a diverse group of people, and many of whom had a background similar to mine. Like they had come from STEM fields, and many of them who had already transitioned to the field of like economics or policy or governance. So like talking to these people, and talking to these people, like it gave me more confidence about what to do next. So it didn't feel like I was alone, because there were already people who have done this before, and they have been doing fine in their newly. So yeah, after this, like, so it gave me more confidence to shift to the fields of policy. I would say policy and economic was my main interest, but immediately, like, what I could transition to was a job at Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. So I quit my job at Samsung, and I joined the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. So for those who are not aware, it's a central government regulatory body which works in the field of telecommunication policy, but mainly, but also in general policies related to ICT, we would call information and communication technology. So yeah, I joined at TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, as a consultant, and I started working in the fields of tech policies like national digital communication policy, and also I got to work on interesting stuff like uh, policies which could help bridge the digital divide, and which ensures digital inclusion. The things which initially motivated me to do the transition. So yeah, I got to work in such interesting fields. I really enjoyed my time as a consultant, working at TRAI, working on tech policies and everything. But it was a contractual job of 1 year. I was nearing the end of my contract, and I was not sure if my contract would be renewed. But also, like, I wanted to shift to the generic field of public policy and not just exclusive for the field of tech policy. So I started looking for jobs both in the field of specifically tech policy as well as generic public policy. But the thing is, I noticed that in many of these jobs, they had preference for people who had masters in the field of either public policy or economics. So, and I was reaching, as I mentioned, reaching the end of my contract at TRAI. So I decided probably it's a good time to do a master's, either economics or public policy. So I wrote entrance exams for both economics and public policy. I got a few good offers for both economics as well as public policy. One particularly good offer which I got was from Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata, for the course MS in Quantitative Economics, along with other offers which I got. So like I considered all the available options which I had, and then I realized like probably like MS in quantitative economics is the best option for me. Particularly, there were a few reasons. One was I'm very math oriented, and my quantitative rigor is quite good. So I thought I should further develop my quantitative skills so that I can apply them in the field of economics and policy. And ISI in my current college does exactly that. It's providing me a very strong quantitative rigor. And also, like, the other aspect was ISI, in particularly my course, is one of the few courses, like, still which we do not have particularly a course fee per se. It's a central government funded institute. It comes under Ministry of Statistics. So it's almost a very minimal fee. So as I was investing time of like 2 years for a master's, I also didn't want to invest time, more money as well. Like some of the offers which I got, like I had to invest a couple of lakhs. So that's another reason why I choose ISI. But as well as like the subject choice, like as I mentioned, the quantitative background which it provides was what I desired. So I joined MS in quantitative economics at ISI Kolkata, and I joined last year, like that is July of 2024, and it's been 1 year now. Like have completed 1 year here, and it's my summer vacation going on now, and yeah, so like this past 1 year, I've really enjoyed my journey at ISI Kolkata. Like the economic intuition which it provides, along with the quantitative background. I really like it, and it's really challenging to learn, and it's very interesting. So, yeah, as I said, it's my summer vacation going on now, and I secured an internship at Reserve Bank of India, Kolkata, RBI. So I'm currently interning at RBI. And at RBI, I'm working on analyzing the trends, uh, temporal as well as spatial trends in digital payments, different digital payment methods like UPI, NEFT, RTGS, etc. So particularly in the background of the COVID, this thing, how exactly COVID has affected the adoption of these digital payment methods. So that's what I've been working on at RBI. Apart from this, I'm also working on a project with a very renowned development economist or welfare economist. I think I would not disclose the name now. Like, we are almost about to complete that project and publish an article regarding the same. So I guess the name will get disclosed then. Till then, I want to keep it a bit secret. So yeah, like that project is primarily working on analyzing the uh, past 2 decades of data of Manrega, which is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which is almost 2 decades old. It's an employment guarantee act of central government of India, which it's a rural employment guarantee act which provides uh, employment to people who demand it. So it's a very major social security scheme of the run by the central government, I would say. So we are currently analyzing how exactly this scheme has fared in providing job guarantee to marginalized groups like women and marginalized castes. So that has been our work. And yeah, we are almost about to publish an article regarding the same. So I'm very excited about that particular project. Both the topic as well as the guide I'm working with. Like, it's someone I've always admired. So it's almost a dream come true that I'm getting to work with him. Uh, so apart from this, yeah, in the long term, if I have to say, like, feels like poverty alleviation, social justice, and animal rights are what drives me. So, are the causes which drive me. So, fields like development economics, welfare economics, and economics of animal welfare, particularly that of farm animals. So, these are kind of some of the fields which drive me. In the long run, I intend to continue my research in the field of core economic research, even if I don't get to work in this field particularly as part of my job. I would still like to continue my work in some other way in these fields. So this has been my journey till now.
Well, it is a remarkable journey, I can say that. It's a very interesting
Thank
and
you, sir.
powerful journey.
Thank you, sir.
And ending up at ISI, that is really the cake at the end of it.
Yes, yes.
I, ISI is, everybody knows what is ISI these days. But so now you have grown up in Bangalore, you've been in Delhi, you have been in Kolkata. How do you find them, the three cities, from your personal
Oh,
experience?
okay. Uh, so like each city is very different. Like, Bangalore is of course what feels like home. No other city can replicate that, I would say.
Uh-huh.
But Delhi had a very different feeling, like working with the central government in the heart of Delhi. My office was almost in the heart of Delhi.
Yeah,
So I was daily commuting through the areas where you can see embassies of different countries, uh, national headquarters of organizations like UN, UNICEF,
yeah.
UNDP, and so on. Like, so that feel, Delhi, that's kind of something which
Mm,
can't be replicated by any other city, I would say.
mm,
But in terms of weather, like, I would say, like, it was a bit harsh, especially for someone coming from South India. I was not prepared for what Delhi offered in terms of weather, the extremities in terms of both
Yeah.
heat as well as heat during the summer and cold during the winter.
Mm.
So, but I still enjoy my time there.
Mm.
Uh, I visited quite a few historical. There are many historical places as well as in Delhi.
Mm.
So, historical and many political establishments, and as I said, like so, yeah, going around the many of these places in Delhi, it was a really great experience. And for the past 1 year, I have been in Kolkata. Kolkata, as everyone would know, like is a very historical city. Like, yeah, since the time of pre-independence. So yeah, people are especially sweet here, like because I particularly am just learning the language, but they still accommodate me with my broken Bangla and the Hindi which I know of, which is also very limited, I would say, for someone from South India.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, even here, like as I said, like it's a pretty historical city. Like I have been to a few places here, like Victoria Memorial and all. It's a really great place. And during the times of Durga Puja, the city has a very different vibe, which is really magical.
Mm.
So yeah, each city has its own this thing to offer,
Mm.
its own magic to offer, I would say.
And say you have to compare the students at NIT with the students at ISI. So what is the difference between them?
Okay. So at NIT, I would say like as I mentioned, my interests even back then were very much in uh, policy, economics, politics. So there, I would say like not many people were as oriented in those fields, like because people were primarily focused on their STEM careers. Because even NIT is a very prestigious organization, a prestigious institute when it comes to the technical education in India. So that's the thing. I enjoyed my time there. Like I had a really a good learning experience, but I could not find many people who matched with my interest, I would say. Whereas here, like as the course itself is very much economics, so I would say like it very much matches with my interest. So yeah, that's one thing which I find is different between the two. And also like as I mentioned, like I am very much interested in math particularly. So application of math towards real life issues which affect the society, I feel like economics offers a better uh, prospects in that, I would say, than what I could do in
Mm.
engineering.
Mm.
So yeah,
Okay,
so
all right.
that what is I would say.
Okay, share some of your personal side also with us. All this is, official talk, academics,
Yeah.
something personal, which you want to share.
Okay, okay, sure. So uh, personal, I would say like yeah, the past 2 years have been particularly challenging in terms of like I had to decide. So I was in my job at Samsung till 2023 around May. To be honest, it was around the same time I quit my job 2 years back. So it was a particularly hard choice, but I could make that choice because primarily two reasons. Like I was privileged because not everyone can make that transition or leap because they may have families which are dependent on their income. So I'm quite grateful for that, that I'm privileged in that matter that I could take the leap. And also like uh, I would say for people who intend to who make any such transition, if you are serious about it, like then please do consider. Don't be afraid to take the leap if you can afford it. As I said, like not everyone may be able to afford it. But before taking the leap, plan accordingly. Keep your finances tightly. Like save up money so that you can take the leap and take the path of your choice, so that later in your life you may not regret that you should have taken the a leap of faith and made the transition.
Okay, Rahul, thank you so much. It's my privilege to listen to people like you and to see how lucky India is to have people like you who not only do well but know that they are privileged. Okay, because you can be say, I'm great, but you are not saying you're great. You're saying I'm great because I had the privilege to be able to do things that I wanted. So it's very heartening to listen to you, and I'm glad that you came forward and told us about all these things. Let's end it here. Stay on. I want to talk to you offline a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll be back.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me, sir. It was a great
Okay, let's talk a
time.
little bit offline, right? I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then.